Manuel, good morning, and how are you, faithful? Captain Niner here with your Captain and Coffee Morning Report for January 10th, 2025. It is Faithful Friday. Make sure to wear your colors, wear them loud and proud. Even though we're not out of the playoffs, we're still faithful, people. Always remember, we are always faithful. A little bit of other stuff to anybody who's out in the California area, who's dealing with the fire stuff or anything. Thoughts and prayers goes out to you and yours. Hopefully, you guys are all going to be safe and all that stuff calms down. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on out there, obviously with the fires and everything going on there. So again, anybody who, thoughts and prayers go out to. I hope everybody comes out of that okay. Obviously, with that of note, this weekend the Rams and Vikings game, which was scheduled to be played in LA, has been moved to Arizona. Why they didn't just leave it in California, I do not understand. I'm sure Santa Clara would have hosted it had been asked. I don't know if there's something going on there this weekend. But anyways, that game has been moved to Arizona because I guess the fires are only about 15, 20 minutes away from the stadium. And depending on how the weather is and everything in the stadium, they just did not want to chance it. So again, the Rams and Vikings playoff game has been moved to Arizona for the time being. So like I said, all that. So getting into 49ers news, the 49ers have done a few interviews for their DC position. Obviously, the one that we are all looking at the most is going to be Robert Saleh, the former defensive coordinator and former head coach of the Jets. Again, I would not hesitate at all to welcome back Robert Saleh with open arms and love to have him back on the sideline. I miss the emotion and the passion that he brought to the sideline. I think DeMeco brought some of it. He wasn't quite as emotional on the sidelines with getting everybody pumped up, ready to go, but he had that. Obviously, both of those guys had that immensely more than anything Sorensen and or Wilks had. So I think that's one aspect that this defense has been missing, is that they seem to feed really, really well off of a defensive coordinator who gets down there and is with them, cheers them on from the sidelines, or how you want to put that, whatever. But I do believe that's something that this defense feeds on, and obviously Saleh is full of it. The only issue I have with bringing back Robert Saleh would be the issue of he's already a head coaching candidate for a couple of teams. I think he interviews with the Jaguars, and then he also has an interview with the possibly the Bears. So he's already a top candidate for some of these head coaching positions. Say he comes back, we have another great year, we win the Super Bowl, all that good stuff next year. All that does is put him probably literally at the top of the list. So while, again, Robert Saleh, would love to have him back, the problem is we are in the same exact position next year. So at that point, maybe do we go back to Sorensen and be like, okay, should we retain him? Oh, look, you're good enough now? Okay, look, now you've learned from this guy and this guy. Now you're ready. I don't know, think the faithful will take that pretty well. So that's my issue with bringing back Saleh, is the fact that, especially if successful, that just pushes him out the door again, because he's going to be a top head coaching candidate just right out the door again. So again, there's that. Also with they also interviewed the defensive back / passing game coordinator for the Detroit Lions, Deshaun Townsend. He was a defensive back for the Detroit Steelers from 1998 to 2010, and then 1 year after that with the Colts. He did win a Super Bowl in 2005 with the Steelers, obviously. And then if you look back at his playing career, it's kind of, there's like a 6-year span to where, as dominant as Troy Polamalu was at some points of his career, he was pick for pick with him in that defensive backfield. So again, pretty good career for him overall. I know that I saw something on the lines that people were like, well, why are we looking at him when the Detroit Lions had one of the worst passing defenses in the league? Well, if you look at the Detroit games, one, their offense is high flying. Their offense scores 40, 50 points a game, kind of thing. So what do all the teams have to do? They have to pass constantly. Teams are forced to pass against this team because they're behind all the time. So again, they're going to give up more yards than usual because you're having to. Look at what happened with us when we played them. We had to keep up with them. So we had to pass to keep up with them. And while they were, I want to say, like the 25th, 27th, somewhere in that, where I believe, passing yards against them, they were also 5th in picks. So which means that, yes, they're getting passed on quite a bit, but again, they're probably playing a lot of nickel. Their teams are going 4 wide, 5 wide against them, but they're also getting their opportunities with picks and everything like that. And they were only 7th in points given up. So again, like I said, don't look at just the regular numbers on that one. They are fairly well when it comes to being a pass defensive team. Just when teams are just passing on them constantly, not to mention you can't run on this defense. So if you can't run on them, you got to pass. And so you're getting some success in the passing game, so you just keep going back to it. So he is it'd be an interesting choice. Someone who, like, long-term wise, would be a better fit. I'm still of the hope that we look more towards Jeff Ulbrich. Still technically the coach of the Jets right now, because they haven't done anything with their head coaching vacancy and or what's going on with them in general. Or Lou Omanu, I believe it, the defensive coordinator coming off of Cincinnati. Those, somebody who's going to be here for a while, rather than just Saleh, who's pretty much, we can almost guarantee, especially if successful, is going to be one and done here in the Bay. So that's all we got for you for this morning on the Captain and Coffee Morning Report. As far as Niner Faithful Radio is concerned, please make sure to check us out tonight at 6 p.m. over on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Facebook, especially on our YouTube. Make sure, like I said, Niner Faithful Radio YouTube. We're trying to get that going. I'm going to be going over dates of the things to look at for the preseason, or excuse me, the off season. I'm probably going to be going over a little bit of this stuff again because it's a weekend review show. It's the totality of the entire week. So everything we've talked about during the week, anything just to present you moving forward. And then next Tuesday will be me and TJ back on the main Niner Faithful Radio show. And we will be doing our year in review. So again, like I said, everybody, please make sure to join us tonight, 6 p.m., Niner Faithful Radio. I will try to stream it here on TikTok as well, just to see how that goes. But until then, Fa Fatai Te Lava, one love, faithful.